I'm Jazz and you are Generation C. Well, we all are. You know, you have baby boomers and millennials and Generation X, and that's usually a time when people are born and they've got like ways of being and mindsets that are remarkably different from the generation before or after them. Well, I get emails every day from Seth Godin, and that sounds like he's just emailing me. I'm on a mailing list of bazillions. I'm one of the people he emails. Sign up for it, it's brilliant. Seth Godin is a real thinker who reimagines what the world could look like. And he's coined the term Generation C to kind of talk about the experience that we're all going through now, Generation Corona, Generation COVID-19. But there are also amazing words that begin with C. And during this time, we have a real opportunity to rethink and reimagine who we are and who we want to be. This is a gift. So the C I want to look at today is capital. Now, according to Steve Cockram, who I know a lot of guys who talk sense. Steve Cockram talks about there being 5 types of capital: financial capital, intellectual capital, physical capital, relational capital, and spiritual capital. And each one of those gets incrementally more valuable and worth investing in as it goes up. So right now, financial capital is one that a lot of us are concerned about. You know, we've had wealth wiped out, we've had our future earnings stopped, or we're being paid less than normal, or we don't know when we're going to get paid. And that causes a massive amount of worry. Now, you can spend the next 2-3 months, however long we're on lockdown, kind of really focusing in on financial capital. That's possible. But it might not be the best way to spend your energy, because as you'll see, the other capitals outweigh financial. Let's look at intellectual capital, the second one. That's your ability, yes, it's knowledge, but it's also your ability to be emotionally intelligent, your mindset, your ability to train your mind to use positivity and emotional intelligence when you're trying to solve a critical problem. Now, during this time, you could invest in your intellectual capital. You could do a course, you could do some coaching, you could read a book, you could investigate the thing you've always wanted to investigate. You could learn yoga, you could learn to make sourdough bread. There's so much you could build in now. And those skills and that knowledge and that journey could be a way that you could invest in. Then it could link to financial capital later on, because you might learn a new skill or you might develop a course telling someone how to do something. The third one, physical capital. This is really important because, you know, a lot of us are looking at right now thinking, oh my gosh, I'm panicking, but we've still got our health. Like if I had all the financial capital I could want and all the intellectual capital I could want, but I wasn't ill, I wasn't well, it doesn't amount to anything. 10 years ago, I had pneumonia. I had pneumonia when I was a baby, and I had it again when I was 40. I spent my 40th birthday walking. I walked 70 steps on my 40th birthday, and that was a huge, massive achievement at the time. So I was in a hospital, I was on a drip, on a mask, I couldn't move my arms, I couldn't articulate, I couldn't talk. I could either breathe or talk for a short time, it was one or the other. And I honestly, I thought I was going to die. Now, during that time, I had no physical health at all. And all the money and all the intelligence I had didn't amount to anything. It was hard. But what I did have was relational capital. And I had incredible people, friends, family, who gathered round, who supported my husband, who looked after my kids, who brought me food. Those are the people that I know, if everything went crazy for me now, if I lost everything, they would fight. They would give me somewhere to live. They would look out for me. I know that. So I am more interested in my relational capital than I ever am in my financial capital. Financial capital is important. It makes life a bit easier. It also means you don't have to think outside the box, because you're not challenged. You've got the money, you're safe. Comfort is not a place where you can grow from. So intellectual capital is something you can invest in now. You could learn new skills. Physical capital, critically important we invest in that, because we're doing dance every day. There's a website called Steezy, which is like really cool street dance. I'm probably out of the age band that they were aiming at, but I don't think they're aiming at 49-year-old women. But it's so cool. And if you miss a day, it emails you and goes, hey, where you at? So I'm doing Steezy every day, which is like this dance workshop. It's like TikTok dances really that I'm doing with my kids. We go for a walk every day. We're doing, I'm doing body matters. I'm doing like yoga every day, breathing. All of that stuff is an investment, because my usual cry is I haven't got time. And now I look at my diary and go, let me just check. Oh, I'm free. So I have got time. That's no longer my narrative. So investing in your physical health, critically important, because when people are either going to come out of this healthy or they're going to come out of this weighing a ton, because you're just sitting at home watching Netflix and eating pasta and sugar. So physical capital, very important to invest in during this time when you've got the time. Relational capital, though, for me is my big one. relational capital means that you can lose all your financial capital. You can be not able to use your intellectual capital. You could have no physical capital whatsoever. And your relational capital will mean that you won't just survive during that challenging time, you'll thrive. Because the people around you, the people you know. So right now, why not invest in that relational capital? I've made a list of like my 12 people that I love how their brains work. I love being with them. They just set me alight. And I don't get enough time to see with them or even chat with them. And I've made a list of this 12 and I am reaching out to them saying, okay, let's talk, let's engage. And we're just connecting. Emotionally connecting, not just being present in a Zoom room. We're having really in-depth conversations. I've also looked at my wider world of like educators and people who serve creative entrepreneurs. I want to do something that supports them because I want the world changed. I can't do it on my own. Other people can. If I empower and support them, ta-da! So that's my kind of big focus. Who can I invest in during this time? Who can I give to, build up, empower, galvanize into action so that we can have change? This is my relational capital. And to me, it is one of the most important things that I have. And lastly, spiritual capital. Now, this doesn't have to be faith. It can be faith. And I think faith can give you this extraordinary element of realizing you're not alone. There's something bigger than you. There's a bigger element than just you. But also it could be community. It could be football. You've seen people the way, like my husband, and talk about Liverpool. Good gravy. So it could be anything that you're passionate about, which is bigger than you. And that is the singular most important capital. It's a sense of purpose. It's a sense of community, of connection. It's a sense of being more powerful than you think you are. And that is the one capital that's not just going to allow you to survive this time. Who aims to survive? Who's like, oh, my goal is just to get through the day. I mean, good gravy. That should be baseline. We're talking about thriving, so that when we come out of this to the new normal, you're hitting the ground running. You're not scrapping around going, oh, I miss Brexit. You're really actually engaged with what's happening. A lot of the time we talk about being present. And before, being present was kind of a luxury that we could opt to do. But if you've sat with someone who you love, who is dying, or if you've given birth, or if you have, nursed someone who is sick, you'll know what being present is. It's physically and emotionally exhausting. So right now, we're being asked to be the whole time. There's no human doing, unless we can escape to a cupboard and do some emails. We're human being the whole time. So what do you want to invest in for you? You've got to be 100% you so you can overflow and fill others from the saucer, not from your cup. Financial, intellectual, physical, relational, spiritual. All that capital is there. You get to choose. Can't wait to hear what you're doing.